How do you figure out how to do the work you love when the type of work that you love is no longer something that you can do? When I was younger, I used to love making movies. And I was in high school. I had access to a video camera and I would make movies with my friends. I would shoot that and I had access to computers and animation and allowed me to make some really cool movies. And I just loved doing that type of thing. After I moved to Atlanta in 2005, I ended up starting a marketing company. And I ended up getting just further removed from the movie making business, from the movie making world. It saddened me because I loved doing that. But as I was working in the marketing company, one of the things that I discovered was I could actually figure out what was it about making movies that I loved so much. And if I could figure out what those things were, perhaps I could do those same things in other outlets. Perhaps I could find other ways to live out that passion that wasn't about making movies. One of the things that I love about making movies is problem solving. For example, I had some scenes where I needed to show people flying. I needed to have some interesting superheroes doing outrageous actions that weren't going to be possible just as a normal person in front of a camera. So we had to come up with ways to hook people up to ropes.
Start electrocuting me with this question.
And hang them from my roofs.
Get the black bag, the black camera bag for this.
Why?
Because I need it.
Or from my trees.
When I get...
We did all this wild experimentation, mostly safe, I think.
More.
But it was just something that we would come across. This is a thing we wanted to accomplish. How do we do that? How do we solve this problem? And so solving problems, that's something I can do in the business. That's something I can do as a freelancer. That's something I can do as a friend, as a coach. So I can actually live out that passion in a variety of ways. So that's one of the pieces. Second, I loved connecting people to other people, bridging the gap, connecting people to resources. That was just something that I love doing, and that when we're making movies is a natural part of that process. And so that's something I could do in the business world, something I could do as a freelancer. I can share an article with you. I can share a podcast with you. I can share a resource. I can connect two people that have the same values together, that have a similar vision, that are moving in the same direction. And so that was an exciting thing that I realized, and that's something I can do even when I'm not making movies. Another thing that I love to do was I would love to bring different types of people together, different ages, different points of view, just different people, friends and community from all walks of life, to bring them together to do something, a common mission towards a common goal. And that was another great thing. And I thought, that's something I can do in the business. That's something I can do with a team. That's something I can do with clients. I'm bringing them all together to help work us towards that common goal. Another facet of movie making that I love was storytelling.
But the monster couldn't be stopped. He couldn't be stopped by anyone. Not even you. Not even you. No, not me. Not even you.
How do you tell a story? How do you convey the emotion? How do you communicate a message? How do you balance the tension? And so that's something I can do as a YouTuber. I have an opportunity to explore storytelling as a YouTuber here in this video and other videos. I also as an opportunity as a freelancer. How do I communicate a message to a client to help them understand a concept so that they can move forward in their business in a particular way? Oftentimes it's a story. It might be a real story, a fictional story, whatever it might be, but storytelling is something I can do. And so I'm wrapping all of these pieces together, and I realize I love movie making because of these four things. But I can also do these four things in other parts of my life. If my job only gives me two of the things, then I can do the other two things in my family or at church or in my community or in a hobby. So they don't even all have to be in the same thing. They can be done in disparate outlets. As much as I love movie making and filmmaking and even business and content creation, there are facets of it that allow me to do the things that I love, that I'm passionate about. My encouragement to you is to think about what is it that you did love in your past that just gave you joy and meaning and significance or sense of achievement. And think about what was it that gave that to you from those things. And then think about where you're at now. What do you like about it? What's not working? What is working? How can you apply these ideas, these concepts, and into your work today? And then where your work can't fulfill those things, where it can't be those things, what can you do outside of your work to pursue those passions so that in your life as a whole, you're getting all of those things that give you what you need to be excited, to be motivated, to aspire to something greater. This is just one of the little exercises I did that really was profound in my own transformational journey to help me become content with the changes in life, because there are things that change, and sometimes we don't get to do the things that we used to do that we loved, but we can still do the things that we love at a core level. Sometimes it just might look a little bit different. And what you might discover, and what I've discovered, is that there are many other outlets, that some of them are even more interesting and more excited than past ones. And sometimes there's a way that those things come back around that allow us to integrate new things into the thing we once loved before. Tell me what you think. What are some of the things you get a ton of passion at the core level, and the things you've done in the past, and the type of work that you do now? Share those things in the comments below. I'm Jason Scott Montoya, and thank you for watching.
Potions and Kung Fu may be fun, but remember, peace is the answer.
Hey, how are all you guys still alive?
I don't know. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Bye-bye now.